Yeah, those Iranian teenagers are going to get what they want. Those cities completely leveled. And they're going to put in hardcore Muslim extremists over them, just like Iraq. 60% of the graduates of college were women, the doctors. Rock and roll music was on. Not anymore. They're all wearing the burqas, and CIA's in command. I tell you, the key to the whole New World Order is Muslim extremists. More and more I realize this. They are the magic key, the sword of death. They are the little secret. Because you got these mullahs, Shiite, Sunni, both sides. They got mind-controlled people that will blow themselves up and think they're doing it for Allah, and they always work for the British government. I mean, when you really get down to it, and that's what the head mullah came out and said, this is the British government. Because, you know, he knows, because they've been fighting those guys and working with them for decades. It goes back and forth. This is like chess, ladies and gentlemen, but 10 times more complex. And we're here looking at this huge chessboard. I can't get the American people to even realize we're playing chess, that there's a game on, that this is real, that there's powerful elites and subterfuge. And in fact, I want to play this clip, then your calls are coming up. And I got Sarah Hudeberg coming in here to talk about this bill. You can't make this stuff up anymore. I mean, who could come up with this? I couldn't imagine things this ridiculous. But the reason I thought of this guy, months ago, I meant to play this. And I didn't do it. But last night, I'm at the office at about 10 o'clock at night. They're re-airing Geraldo Rivera's show. And there's like these weird zombie redcoats. I say zombie. They look like they were out of their minds. With these vacant stares playing Revolutionary War music, but British tunes with our soldiers on the set with him. And I was like, they're playing revolutionary, colonialist music, and it was some weird message. And I keep seeing redcoats with our troops at White House events and at events at Arlington Cemetery. It's like a desecrating us. And I'm not a Anglophile phobe. I mean, I don't dislike the British. I mean, my last name's Jones, and I have 2 guys that work for me in England, great, smart people. I'm saying the elite of England. So I'm sitting there watching this as we sit there in the coffee room watching Fox News, and then it cuts to Lieutenant Colonel Bill Cohen, and he's saying, I tell you what, Geraldo, I just think we ought to be over there helping them. It's despicable that Obama's trying to stop us from freeing these people, and that we're not giving support to these great Iranians that he's saying every other day he wants to turn into a glass parking lot, but suddenly he loves them. And suddenly, they're all for police brutality here, but oh my gosh, they're doing it over there. It's bad. And think of how that PSYOP works. They're funding the whole thing on record. They're staging the whole thing on record. They're lying and twisting everything. He knows that, and there he is lying to the American people with pleasure, knowing it's all a lie, saying we ought to be supporting him. Obama isn't supporting him, which gives Obama left cover. See, now the left will be, he's an anti-war guy, and the right wing will hate Barack Obama, and that reinforces the controlled Republican Party. And all these CIA operatives, and that's what Bill Cohen is. He admits he's worked with them in Beirut and other places, and Mossad. It's all about reaffirming that false left-right paradigm and giving Obama left cover when Zbigniew Brzezinski's running this entire operation as his national security advisor's top advisor. So he's like the supervisor over his national security advisor. He's the real power behind the throne. And we predicted all of this in the Obama deception and all the interviews I have for the second film coming out soon. It's all about this already. We're already predicting this film what's now happening. It's just incredible. So, the issue here that I'm trying to get to is it made me think of Lieutenant Colonel Bill Cohen. Because I remember Rumsfeld in 2002 and Bush going, we're taking off the gloves, and the torture memos, ordering the torture, and how they were waterboarding them and bragging on Fox News, how they were stopping their hearts with medical devices and torturing them much worse than waterboarding, and how they were getting fake confessions. And Khalid Sheikh Mohammed, supposed number 2 in Al-Qaeda, they got him to confess to bombing buildings that weren't built till 4 years after he was in jail. So 6 years of being waterboarded, they admit, hundreds of times, 2 times a day for almost 6 years. Khalid Sheikh Mohammed confessed to everything but killing Kennedy, sinking the Lusitania, the Titanic, crucifying Jesus. I mean, he And they put out on the news he'd done this. He had bombed buildings that didn't exist when he was arrested. And they admitted that they threatened his family. That was in the news, that they tortured his kids. The Washington Post bragged and said, yeah, when they tortured him for years and he wouldn't say he did it. So they got his kids in there and started doing it. And he said, fine, I'll say whatever you want. Totally made up. He was clearly a CIA operative they were setting up. So Lieutenant Colonel Bill Cohen shelling at a conference, a news conference, and then making the joke about, is this on record? Oh, I don't care if it is, when he knew it was a press conference. This is Lieutenant Colonel Bill Cohen at a press conference in Los Angeles, bragging and selling, oh, I'm not for waterboarding, I'm from electricity, but only if it saves our troops. When you know it's only good for fake confessions and only good for tyranny and terror over the people. It's so sick, but it gets worse. You can pull this up. This has been in the Associated Press. They have arrested dozens and dozens of people. It's got to be over 30 or 40 that I've seen in the news alone. At Bagram Air Base in Afghanistan, places like that, in Iraq, because it'll come out that they tortured somebody or they sodomized them with large objects dripping with battery acid. That's in the Army's own report. And so Bush and them said, we didn't order that. Arrest them. And then they send these people who followed orders to prison, and guess how they keep them from blowing the whistle? In fact, you can Google this, guys. Torture guard silenced under Patriot Act. They use anti-terror rules on the torturers that followed orders to shut them up so Bush and Rumsfeld and Gonzalez and all these sickos won't go to prison. And so they sent a whole bunch of these people to prison that followed orders. The White House orders are now public. And then the White House says they never ordered torture. And then last year, this is just late last year, 2008, Lieutenant Colonel Bill Cohen goes on TV and brags that he tortures people. So they're allowed to brag they're torturing people, and then they send their own patsies to jail. I mean, that's who you work for, CIA. I hear the CIA ads recruiting for domestic operations. Listen, you dumb kids. They're going to set you up. They're all into lying to you. They work for offshore banks. They want to destroy this country. Go ahead and play the clip.
Everything I say here or not is on the record. I hope it is. It always is. I'd like to go on the record as saying, we've talked about torture here last night and this morning. I do not like waterboarding. I do not like waterboarding. I prefer electricity.
Yeah, little kids getting raped. Real funny.
I stand by that statement, and it concerns me quite a bit that John McCain has already ceded interrogation techniques to certain people. I would never for a moment use harsh techniques, and I have used them, on just anybody. But, you know, sometimes there are certain people like Khalid Sheikh Mohammed.
Khalid Sheikh Mohammed. That's enough from the punk. That's enough. Like his kids got tortured? You mean like him? They take your soul, folks. He is shelling you. He's all in deception. They all sit around laughing how they manipulate and deceive people. Like he went on the news last night and said, I wish we were supporting the overthrow of Iran right now, when he knows the whole thing's being run. They'll take your farm and ranch too, folks. If they'll kill 1,300,000 Iraqis, they'll kill you deader than a hammer. And they're building a giant force of sickos like him that are ready to do it. Well, I'm a real red-blooded American, and I'm not part of torturing kids, you son of a... Listen to me, we're going to beat you people, and we're not scared of you. Sicko filth.